Britt is with us in Richmond, Virginia. Hey, Britt, what's up?
Hey, Dave. So first, let me say that I am a certified Ramsey baby. My parents found out about you when I was in middle school and subsequently never owned a credit card. My wife and I paid off our house in 3 years. So
wow,
stuff really works, and it does travel down generations.
I love it. Very cool.
So we are a small batch luxury custom apparel company. We have 6 employees, including my wife and I, and we are knocking on the door of $1 million in revenue.
Cool.
Our main client base is advertising agencies, retail goods for places like museum gift stores, and apparel for TV shows and movies.
Very neat.
We've always grown the business organically through referrals and website traffic. We have a nice website. We're very searchable in Google, so we have had pretty steady growth that way. But we would like to start actively growing the business through direct sales. And that is pretty unfamiliar territory for me. I feel very comfortable in a sales role at our business, but it's more because I understand the product and I understand our customer, but not because I have a background in sales or sales training or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my main question is, we just hired our first sales rep to do client acquisition sales.
Mm-hmm.
And what should the expectations be for additional revenue from a sales rep? And should that be pegged to a multiple of their salary?
You're paying them a straight salary?
For this sales rep, it's mainly commission because it's client acquisition sales.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Okay. So every time, he gets paid or she gets paid a percentage of their order, correct?
Yes.
And that's where most of their income comes from, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So every time they make an order, you make money, even after paying them.
Yes.
So I hope they get rich because you're going to get richer.
Yes, me too.
I want that sales rep to make $1 million, which would mean you made $10 million, right?
Yes. Well, the way that we have our current deal structured with that sales rep is that they have a base pay of $300, which is just to kind of cover their minor expenses. And then they make a 50% commission on the first sale of a new client. And then they get a 25% commission on the second sale from that same client.
Wow.
And then the commission stops at that point.
Oh, they don't get the third sale.
They don't get sales beyond that. The way that we figured out the math of it was that our average order cost for first and second order is around $1,200. So they would be making about $1,000 per customer brought in.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a bad way to structure?
It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's not a thing that's immoral. I think that the thing you want to do is the thing I've discovered about comp structures in general is no matter what you say, people are going to do what creates their pay.
Right.
And so what you're saying to this guy with this structure is that him bringing in first and second orders is everything because it's the only way he gets paid.
Yes.
And so if he does unrealistic something to get just those first 2 orders and then the client can't, you don't really want them to stay because of the deal that was made with the client. You don't get to, you're assuming that after the second order, that this is going to be a wonderful client, but it's not going to be if he set the whole relationship up wrong because he's not paid for it. So I probably would like for him to get a small residual on all orders after the second one, but big hits on the first 2 like you've got. So I might put him on a little residual to where he could have an incentive to help. If he built up a huge book of business, like over a 5-year period of time, brought in 500 or 1,000 clients, and he was getting 3% on all of their orders after those first 2, he could have built himself a really good living.
Yes.
And
okay, so
and he gets to help you manage and maintain those relationships that he initially formed, or she initially formed. So I would like in your situation you want to retain the customer after the second order, I assume.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so let's pay him something to ensure that happens, because what you pay people to do is what they're going to do.
Well, I can walk you through the logic of how we came up with that, and you can tell me if this is a bad way to think about it. But the way that we work with our customers is we build them a password-protected store on our website that's all of their products. And so we found that once we got them across the doorway with the first couple of orders, it's pretty much automated with them just logging onto their own page and placing their own orders.
You don't go back and talk to them and maintain the relationship. You don't spend any time with them. You just put it on, set it, and forget it.
We have a virtual assistant that checks in with them periodically through email. It seems like people only need the hand-holding of like phone conversations and stuff like that for the first couple of orders. And then after that...
So how long do you maintain it? Once you put somebody in that automated thing, how long do you keep them usually?
We have a really high customer retention rate. So most of our clients have been clients of ours for 5-6 years.
Okay. All right. Then you're right. I'm wrong. Because you don't need him to cause that to happen because of your system. So
right.
You're not going to lose them because of their lack of contact with their initial sales guys, what you're telling me.
Yes. Yeah. That is the way our system is set up, and our customers tend to like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, I think I don't disagree. I mean, I think my suggestion was wrong given your new piece of information. I think you're right. So it was logical. Yeah, I would stick with it. I think you're doing a good job. Very cool.
Do you think the math is good math on that commission?
Well, I have no idea. I mean, the question is, can the guy make some money, or can a gal make some money? Because a good salesperson can make 6 figures. But if they make 6 figures doing this, how much are you making? Are you happy with that? Because I want them to salespeople ought to prosper because it keeps them motivated. They like it. The human brain likes to see traction, and that traction is I get a check because I made a sale. I get a check because I made a sale. And if those checks are not small, are so small they don't get my attention, then it's very difficult. So can they make a living doing this? Are they going to make $25,000 a year and make $1 bazillion for you? If that's the case, it's structured wrong. If they're making $100,000 a year and you're not making a profit, well, it's structured wrong. Okay, that's the other way. So somewhere in there, but if you put somebody on 10% commission and you're making a profit of 10 or 15% after they are paid, I want them to become wealthy because I'm going to make more than they make. So this is a good deal. That's the acid test. Or is it a win-win? And is there a motivated thing that's set up here? That's what you're after. Good stuff.